Hello, hello, and welcome back to the 100 Acre Wool Knitting Podcast. My name is Bella, and as always, I'm coming to you from Northern California in the United States. I am a knitter and knitwear designer and lover of all things fiber arts, and that includes sewing and spinning and knitting, like I said, crochet now. It's just, I'm going deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole of fiber arts, and you will see more about that today. So this is a podcast where I usually talk to you about what I'm working on, maybe some new patterns that I have in the works that I'm working on and designing, and then also maybe some ideas for things that I have to want to make in the future. So that's going to be a lot of what today is about. I have some project updates to share with you, some things that I've been working on that I can share with you, but I also have a lot of things that I have acquired in the past few weeks for new project ideas, things for the fall and the winter season that I am very excited to start making things with and sharing with you all here. So let's just get straight into things. First, I will talk about what I am wearing today. If you are not new around here, this may look familiar to you. I've been working on this pattern for a little while now. This is my newly finished Moreau sweater. This is a new Colorwork design knitting pattern that I'm going to be having coming soon. The next step will be test knitting, and then it will be out to the public probably sometime in like late November or December, somewhere around there. That's what I'm thinking, but it might take longer depending on the timeline for test knitting. Anyway, this is my newest sweater pattern design, and I'm so excited about how it turned out. It fits perfectly. It's exactly the style that I was going for, and I love the colorwork, how the colorwork came out. I'm actually already working on a second sample of this, which if you would like to see that, go back and watch the previous episode. I didn't get too much done on that this time around in the past 2 weeks since I last filmed, so if you would like to see that, you can just go back and see. But I'll share with you all that one next time. But let me stand up so you can see more of what this one looks like. So it's not cropped, but it's not super long. It hits exactly where my hip bones are on me. And it's got, of course, this lovely yoke here at the top. And I added some shaping here so that you get more of a curve here than maybe like a normal yoke sweater. And then also some little cuff details to match, and goes around to the back as well. Hopefully you can see that. So for this sample, I used one main color and then 2 colors of spin cycle yarns, which is kind of a fading yarn. So even though there's a lot of colors going on here, these are actually only 2 colorways. So yeah, a lot of color work, fun going on there. And then fun stockinette. I love doing this part personally. And the sleeves. Of course, some minor shaping at the sleeves so that it comes close, but it's not tight anywhere. So it's very, very comfortable to wear. It fits very nicely and not too baggy or too tight anywhere, if that makes sense. It just fits like you would want a yoke sweater to fit, I think. Not oversized necessarily, but definitely not tight. Yeah, and some little ribbing on the edges. I did a rolled, I'm not actually sure what this is called. Anyway, it's where the cuff edge, it's like a sewn bind off. I don't know what the word is for the sewn bind off, but it's a sewn bind off so that your ribbing doesn't look like cut off by a normal kind of bind off method. But yeah, so that's what I did for the beginning. I did a I'm not remembering the terminology. If I can find what it's actually called, I will put it here so that you can search up what it is. But I will also actually be making tutorials on the cast on and the bind off that I did for this sweater, so that it's clear what I'm doing. But yeah, anywho, I really, really like how this came out. And if you are curious, oh, let me talk about the yarn a bit more. So it uses spin cycle yarns. This particular sample, I used Spin Cycle yarns dyed in the wool, so that is their sport weight base. So I would say you could use like a sport weight or a fingering weight for the colorwork portion. And then this main color, this is a Miss Babs yarn. It is her Yummy 2-ply base, and this is the Antique Brass colorway. It's a really lovely 2-ply. It's also superwash, which I don't usually work with superwash, but I just couldn't pass up the color on this one, and it was the perfect weight of yarn that I was looking for. So, and it's also all worked seamlessly in the round, top down, so you cast on here at the ribbing neckline, and then you work down in the round, split for sleeves, and then do the body, and then each of the sleeves separately, and then you bind off at the end. I always use 9-inch circulars for my sleeves. That has made life so much easier, especially on like little colorwork things that you might have going on a small circumference. I really like using my 9-inch circulars because then my tension is even all the way around, because I was having an issue when I was using Magic Loop. I would get weird tension on either side of where the needles changed. So now using my 9-inch circulars, it just makes it go so much quicker and easier, and the tension is great. So would highly recommend that if you don't do that already. But yeah, so if you would like to sign up for the application to be a test knitter for this, I do my test knit calls through my newsletter. So if you're not signed up for that already, that's step one. I have the link below this video in the description. So just go down there and you will see the sign up link to the newsletter, and then I will be sending out the application to apply to be a test knitter for this. I'll probably be doing that in about a week or so. So yeah, that will be coming soon, and I'm very, very excited about it. So let's get into the next thing. This is kind of a half-finished object. I shared this with you all last time, and I have finally finished one of the socks of the pair. So this is a just kind of improvised colorwork sock pattern that I just kind of came up with using Miss Evil Knit's Kudo sock base recipe, and then in the kind of straight bits I did some little colorwork motifs. So this was a really fun little project, just literally making it up as I went along. You cast on here at the toe, and then you work up, and then you do kind of a straight section for most of the foot, and then, well, I won't give away the recipe. I'll link it down below if you would like to have this recipe to knit some socks. It's not exact, like stitch counts and things like that. It's more of like the general steps to go through, and then you can adjust it to work with the yarn that you want to use, and also to fit your foot perfectly, or whoever you're knitting it for. So yeah, I really love the recipe. I've talked about it on here a lot. I won't go too far into it, but that'll be linked down below. But yeah, I just did some little random colorwork motifs, and I had a lot of fun with this, so would highly recommend doing that if you have some scrap yarn laying around. For this particular sock, I used some scraps of knitted in yarn, which is an unspun yarn. I used it 2 strands held together because I like my socks to be really squishy and almost feel like slippers. I knit them at quite a tight gauge, and it's basically like a worsted weight yarn when you hold knitted in double. So yeah, they turn out very, very squishy and cozy. Yeah, so that's one of the socks done. Would highly recommend if you have some unspun little scraps lying around. I know we always have tiny little, you know, rolled up balls of unspun just lying around, so you can make a little improvised colorwork sock. And next, okay, so I have a new pattern in the works, a new design that I'm working on. This design, so I had been so kindly sent by Caroline from Newtown Yarn, from Acre, who makes Newtown Yarn. I'm feeling off today. I don't know what's up. My words are leaving me, but anyway, Caroline from Acre, she was so kind a few months ago to offer some designers a collection early, a collection of Newtown yarn earlier than everyone else, so that we could kind of play with it and come up with a knitting pattern using something from the collection. So I immediately had a design idea for this. I had seen the colors and I was just totally inspired, and I had an idea. And then once I received the yarn, I started knitting my idea, started knitting my initial pattern design, but I don't know, something about it didn't quite work out. I don't know if I'm totally in love with the pattern quite yet. It might need some more tweaking and work, or if it was just maybe too dark for this particular, like maybe this yarn was a bit too dark for the pattern. I don't really know. It wasn't feeling right though. So I took a pause on that, and I was kind of trying to figure out where I wanted to go next. If you're not aware, if you haven't heard me talk about this before, this is the yarn that I chose from the August collection. That was the collection that it was from. So this yarn is Newtown yarn. This particular colorway is 2 negatives equals 1 positive. And it's a really beautiful color. It's kind of a brown gray with rusty tones throughout, and it is dark, but it's not super dark that you wouldn't be able to see your knitting when you were knitting with it. So I really loved the colorway, but I don't know, something about it, it wasn't gelling with my original idea. So, you know, sometimes inspiration strikes, and at one point inspiration was striking, and I had an idea for a new design using that yarn. So I have cast on a new sweater idea, and it is dark. I wonder if you'll be able to, if you'll be able to see the texture from back here, but I'll push it up close so you can hopefully see. So this is going to be a really slouchy, drapey, just cozy, throw it on anytime kind of sweater. And you can see in the back, it's kind of see-through in some points, but I was doing some tests, and when you're actually wearing it, it's totally not see-through at all. It might be a little bit if you used a lighter color of yarn, or if you had a kind of yarn that was less fluffy, because this is very fluffy. And I'm also holding it with a strand of mohair, so that is enhancing the fluff and making it so that it's not like completely see-through. So this is the mohair that I'm holding it with. This is, what is the company again? Shibui Knits. It is their Silk Cloud base, and it is 60% kid mohair and 40% silk. So it's really making this sweater feel very drapey and soft. I don't know what color. Okay, the color number is 2195. So it's just like a very deep, like navy blue, I would say. That's how I would describe the color. And yeah, so I'm marling the two together. So this with this. So they look pretty contrasty right here. They look like they would be very contrasting, but the fabric that is knitting up, I think, is giving a really lovely marl. It's giving like a depth to the color, but it's not super marly, if that makes sense. I've seen some marls that are like very intense contrast between the two colors, and you can see that two colors were used. I'm actually doing that intentionally on a project right now, but I didn't want like a very clear contrast. I just wanted to deepen the Newtown color. So that's kind of what happened here. So I'm really happy with how the fabric is coming out. It's gonna be super big, but light and airy and drapey because of the combination of fibers. So I'm really having a lot of fun with this one, and I'm at the point now where it's going really quickly. And I know it looks really big on my needles, right? Because I stretched it out so that you could see the actual fabric, but it's a very drapey fabric and really light too. And it has, I already did the neckline, so it has a folded over neckline, which is super easy and fun to execute if you haven't done that before. So yeah, I'm really excited with how this pattern so far is coming out, and it's going really quickly off the needles, and I'll be really excited to get that out to you all as soon as possible. So let me see, I think that's all of the knitting works in progress. Now let's get into sewing works in progress. So the past 2 weeks I have done a lot of sewing. I have been very inspired by the fall season coming up. It's still not super cold, or it's not even cold yet here. We had like a little tease of cold weather like a week or two ago, and then now, like yesterday, it was like 94. So we're getting that last like heat wave from the summer. Being in California, that happens, but then hopefully it'll go down and it'll stay colder, because I really want the fall weather to be here. But anywho, I have started on sewing some things, and this is one of the things. So I shared with you all last time, I showed you the fabric that I was going to be using for this last time, and now it is actually looking like a shirt. It's actually looking like something. So this is not complete yet. I haven't done the side seams, and we also still have to put on the sleeves, short sleeves. But I'm really happy with how this is coming out so far. We have a really cute little collar that I've done some top stitching on, and then we have the button band panel, which I still need to do the top stitching on. I think that's like the very next step. But there's this button panel that has some interfacing in it, and this was a really cool technique. You can see that there's this, like, I forget what it's called, but this top portion is like there's two pieces, one on the outside and one on the inside. So it was a really interesting technique to, you're kind of doing like acrobatics with your sewing, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, it was really fun to do. And I'm just, oh, this fabric is really behaving with me. It's not flying all over the place, so I'm really happy with my seams coming out very neat and tidy. So I'm just really enjoying this project, and I'm definitely going to be making another one at some point whenever I find another fabric that I feel I would need for this kind of a garment. I think one for like the spring and summer would be nice. This could be like my fall and winter version, and then one for spring and summer could be good. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this one. And okay, I don't think I said already, I'm sorry. This is the Gilbert top. Oh, who is the pattern designer? Helen's Closet. I think it's by Helen's Closet, yes. And this is called the Gilbert top. There are two different versions. There's like a long sleeve and a short sleeve, and then there's also a version with a cute little like tie in the front at the bottom below the buttons. So I was gonna do the tie on this at the beginning, like down here, but I decided to just keep it straight, so had to do some little adjustments and cutting of things. But yeah, I'm having so much fun, and I highly, highly, highly recommend the pattern. There's a ton of sizes available. I think they're pretty inclusive, and the instructions are just probably the best sewing pattern instructions I've ever seen. Like, they tell you exactly how to do every single step, and the illustrations, there's like illustrations of every single step, so you can really see like what you're supposed to do and what it's supposed to look like. I don't know, it really clicked with me, and I thought it was really thorough and helpful. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I'm definitely more than halfway through on this, so I will probably have it done by the next time. So yeah, can't wait to start wearing this. It's oh, and the fabric, if I didn't say that already, I don't think I did. I am using a 100% cotton double gauze. So I thought that might give me some trouble because it's a little bit thin, but it's been a dream to work with. No issues. Really love this. And this was just from Joann's, just from my local Joann's. They have like a bunch of colors there. So yeah, that is some new sewing that has been happening, having so much fun. And then I also shared with you last time, I shared with you that I was going to be sewing a lot of things for my fall/winter wardrobe, some things that I have been wanting and not really needing. Of course, like if you have one pair of pants or two, then you should be good. But anyway, some things that I've been really wanting in my wardrobe that I wanted to sew myself, because I thought that would be fun and I would be able to pick exactly the kind of fabric that I would want to use. And also sewing can a lot of the times be cheaper for similar quality of garment. So anywho, I did an order from Merchant & Mills and another company for some sewing, for some sewing fabrics. I'm going to be making some garments and then also some pillows for like decor around the house. So I have this big pile of fabrics, big pile of fabrics. So I'm really excited about these. And I'll just go over them quickly with you if you're curious about what they are and what they're going to be used for. So first here on the top, these are some fabrics for pillows that I'm going to be sewing for around the house. Here's some of them. And these two are from Merchant & Mills. These are both linen, 100% linen. Really beautiful linen. I feel like all the linen from Merchant & Mills is just so soft and lovely and just great quality. So let me see if I can get the names. I'll probably just put the names below so that I don't take up too much of your time. I think this one is called Butternut, but it's a really cute checker. It's kind of like a moody take on, my mom said it looked like a pizza parlor tablecloth, like a red and white pizza parlor tablecloth. I think it's a bit more elegant than that, if I can say that. I really love this pattern. And then this is another just really beautiful kind of warm toffee. I would say it's like a toffee kind of a color. Really beautiful. So those will become pillows. And then from fabricguru.com I also ordered some swatches, which these have now also been purchased. So these are on their way to me. But this first one is a Kaufman velvet fabric, like an upholstery style. So it's a lot more sturdy, and you can see the back. It's like definitely an upholstery fabric. So this will make great pillows, I think, and it's super soft. It's really good quality upholstery velvet. Sometimes they can feel kind of plasticky, but that one's really nice. Oh, and that colorway is Adobe, I think. And then this one is a chenille. I forget who the designer is, but this one is a chenille upholstery fabric, and I thought that would be nice for the fall times. It's very pumpkin-y color. And then more Merchant & Mills, so all the rest are going to be garments. So this first one is their linen. This is their, the Merchant & Mills 185 linen line. It's like their thinner linen. I would say it's more, after feeling them in person, after feeling their difference in person, because I also ordered a few swatches, I would say the 185 line is probably best suited for garments, and then the, I think it's 260 linen line, that would be better for probably outerwear or like home decor things, or bedding perhaps. Things that you would want like a thicker fabric. But yeah, so this one is their knapsack colorway. It is so beautiful. It's like this really muted kind of foresty green, if you want to say that. I don't know. It feels like a neutral, but it's green also. So I thought this would go with a lot of things in my wardrobe. Could kind of wear it with anything. And this one is going to be a pair of pants from So Liberated. I think it's the Chanterelle pants. It's their new pants pattern that they just came out with, and I thought that would be a great combo for this linen. So really excited about that one. This will probably be the next project, the next garment project I take on after I finish the Gilbert top. So really excited about that linen. And then also ordered this, is this linen? Twill. This is a twill fabric, and this is called, the colorway is Tobacco. It's their 12-ounce organic sanded twill. So this is quite a bit thicker. This would be a great like jacket overcoat sort of a fabric, I think. But I'm gonna make sort of jeans with this, so I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a good match. These will be this will be the Persephone pants by, forgetting the designer's name, but they're beautiful, and if you're a sewer, you've probably seen them on Instagram. Everyone's making these, everyone's making those pants. So really, really love this fabric. I'm excited to start working with this. And yeah, it's a really beautiful colorway. It's kind of maybe like a brown sugar, like deep brown sugar kind of a color. Also a really great neutral, I thought. So those will be another pair of pants. And then I was so excited about this fabric. This is the fabric that I was talking to you all about last time. This is the Harris Tweed herringbone fabric, and I'm hoping you can see the world of color in this. It's just totally beautiful. If you're not familiar with Harris Tweed is hand woven in the Hebrides or Scotland, oh I forget where, but really, really beautiful, beautiful fabrics. And they're a bit of an investment, so these will be a pair of Persephone pants probably as well. I think I'm gonna want to make Persephone pants with this, some sort of a pant. But this will be the third, at least the third pair of pants that I make, because I want to feel very confident in my pant sewing ability before I get into this fabric, because I just think it is so beautiful and I want them to fit really well. And of course I will make muslins for all of these. I definitely want to make all of them as best as I can, but yeah, especially that fabric. It's like I want to be very, very gentle with it. And oh yeah, that colorway is Bernina, or Bernera. That's the Bernera Harris Tweed on the Merchant & Mills website. And then we also have this fabric, which is a Merchant & Mills fabric. However, I did not purchase it from the Merchant & Mills website because it was out of stock. So this is their Rococo, oh I'm forgetting what this is called exactly, but I will have the link for this down below. I'm going to be sewing a really flowy skirt, like a long kind of flowy skirt with this one. I had seen something like that on somewhere online and I just thought it was so beautiful, and I could definitely use like a warm flowy skirt in my wardrobe. That would be good for winter, but if I still want to wear a skirt instead of pants. So yeah, I just love the colorway of this. It's really moody and deep, just a really beautiful checker. And this linen is so soft and drapey. I think it will suit very well to skirts or dresses or whatever it may be. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm not remembering exactly what the fabric line is called for this, but it's 100% linen, and I know the colorway is Rococo. So anyway, another Merchant & Mills fabric. So I have some sewing projects cut out for me. I will be set for a while on the sewing front. And then I also have a few other things coming for pillows. I have those two other colorways coming that I showed you. So I'm really, really excited about that. And now let's get into some acquisitions from a fiber festival I went to yesterday. So thank you to some of you. You actually made me aware of this fiber festival. I didn't know this was happening. So this weekend, today and yesterday, is Lambtown in Dixon, California. And I had not heard about this until some of you had commented on my last video, so thank you so much for doing that because I wouldn't have known otherwise. So I decided to head up there. It's like an hour drive from me, so really easy to do. So we just headed up there. We went up there yesterday for the day, and I was looking on their website and seeing that they had sheep, and they were gonna have like a fleece sale, and also, you know, the typical yarn vendors, and it just looked like a really fun festival. I've only been to the ones that only have like the vendor section. I've never been to a yarn festival that has all the sheep and the fleeces and everything else going on outdoors. So that was really fun to see. And if you would like to see some snippets from the festival, I will have some more footage at the end. You can see a little bit of what we saw. But yeah, so some things followed me home. There was a lot that I just absolutely fell in love with and I couldn't leave without. So, you know, sometimes it happens. So I will share with you some of the things. So first, literally immediately when we walked in, I went with my partner. Literally immediately when we walked in the door, I saw these fibers and I just fell in love. I was like, this is literally the perfect fall fiber I could ever imagine. I just thought it was so beautiful. So let me try to hold it up so you can see all the colors. Oh my goodness. I hope the camera will do it justice because it is just gorgeous. Really hope the lighting is going to be correct. So this is totally beautiful. So this is some fiber from Pan's Garden, which honestly all of her fibers were beautiful, all of her hand-dyed fibers. This is called Summer's End. It is 70% BFL and 30% Tussa silk, 4 ounces. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. I think I already have an idea in mind of a new design actually. I think these might turn into a scarf, but we shall see. But I just, oh my gosh, the way that the silk shines and all of the different colors. She said the base of this was also like a brown kind of tone, so it made all the colors on top of it much more moody and deeper, and oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's gonna be so much fun to spin. I really want to get this on my spinning wheel, but I already have some things on my spinning wheel that I'm working on. So too many exciting things, right? Not enough time. Okay. And then my partner also saw this fiber braid, also from Pan's Garden, and thought this was really beautiful and this would suit him really well. So also kind of fall tones, but even more moody. And this one doesn't have silk, so it doesn't have the shine to it, but really soft, and these are very, very airy. I think they're not comb top. They may just be roving, not exactly sure, but it's really, really airy, so I think this will be a dream to spin. Let me get the tag here. So this one is called Iron Ore, is the colorway, and this is 100% Blueface Leicester wool. This is also 4 ounces. So I don't know what this will be for my partner, but we both loved it, so it had to come home. Alrighty, and then we also stopped by another another hand-dyed yarn booth, and these colors I couldn't leave. Just gorgeous. First I saw this one, which this is actually 2 skeins spun or wound up together for this, but oh my gosh. It is just, it changes in all the lighting. It's like brown and green and gray and purple, and just loved all the tones. It's like a antique bronze also. I just thought this was totally gorgeous. This may be one of the most beautiful yarns I've ever seen, at least in my opinion. I totally gravitate towards these tones. Just moody and antique, gorgeous. So this, again, is 2 skeins. So there's a mohair skein and then also a slubby skein. So the mohair skein is 70% mohair, kid mohair, and 30% silk. And the slubby skein, the little bumpy bits that you see, that one, that is 90% superwash merino and 10% nylon, which I am really not usually a nylon person. I don't know if I have any other yarn in my stash that has nylon in it, but I couldn't pass up these colors. I just thought this would make maybe like a beautiful shawl. I felt like using both of these together could make a beautiful shawl. I don't know. I just couldn't leave without it. And then I also saw this little duo, which I thought was so adorable. So I think this is supposed to be a sock set. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do with it. I think it's honestly too special for socks. This might go into a hat or some color work or something. But I just, again, totally fell in love. Sorry if it's not focusing. Totally fell in love with this colorway. The little speckles, but they're not too intense, and this beautiful little baby pink. Couldn't pass it up. So this one is her shorty sock set. It is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, and both of it's the same base for both of the skeins. So yeah, dragonfly fibers and Cannon hand dyes. Dragonfly fibers and Cannon hand dyes. Sorry, that's hard to say. That is the company. Beautiful, beautiful dyes. Just love, 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 love. Okay, and then finally, the super, super exciting part. I went to the wool show and the wool sale, and what do you know? I found some fleeces that were gorgeous, and they followed me home. Whoops. Yeah, so brought home 2 fleeces that were just calling to both me and my partner. They were just too beautiful and perfect to pass up. So we picked up this fleece, which I have not washed the wool yet, so I just got little pieces here so I could show you. But they're still very lanolin-y and a little bit dirty. They're not very bad. They don't have very much vegetable matter in them, but yeah, we still need to wash them, or I still need to wash them and process them and everything. And if you are new around here, let me tell you, I have never done this before. I have never worked with an entire fleece. I have a little bit of a unwashed fleece in my closet that I still need to process, but I haven't yet because I don't have any carders or combs. So that will also be something new coming along the way because I need to do something with these. I want to be able to use them and spin them and knit them. So anyway, let me tell you. This first one, this is a beautiful Romney fleece that we saw. It's a bit like golden yellow right now, but I heard that once you wash it, a lot of the yellow will come out because it's from the lanolin and dirt and such. So that is that one. It has a gorgeous luster in person. I hope it's going to come up on the camera. Just shiny. It almost looks like silk with how shiny it is. It's totally gorgeous. And it has a lovely little crimp. It's not super crimpy, but really, really beautiful. And so soft. Just, I really want to prep this in a way that I'm not going to hurt it or create any neps or anything, because it's really a lovely wool. And this, I think, this fleece won first place in the Romney category, I think it was. Beautiful, beautiful fleece. And then this next one is also a Romney. I guess I just gravitated towards the Romney. Long wools, I guess, I don't know. I just thought they were beautiful. So this one, mostly the color drew me to it, and then the feeling, and then it was just in a really great shape. The fleece was, there were like 0 tipping, it was pretty clean, and the grading from the judges was really good, so I figured it would be good. So yeah, I really love the color on this one. Again, a Romney fleece, and don't quite know what else to say. This one is also much more crimpy. Hopefully you can see. And I think the fleece has also been pre-carded a little bit because they're not, like, all the locks are not super intact. This is much more intact, but this Romney fleece is much more, like, already a little bit carded looking, which is fine because that's what I'm going to be doing anyway. And yeah, I'm just so excited about these. I think they're beautiful. I don't think I'm going to be dyeing them at all. I want to keep the natural beauty to them. I think they're gorgeous just on their own. But I might do some blending. Maybe take some of the gray fiber or some of the white fiber and blend them and maybe make a gradient. Who knows what it will be, but I'm so excited. So excited to clean them and process them, and now I have lanolin hands, but I'm really, really excited about that one. Oh, and quickly, just wanted to mention, I also picked up, I've been meaning to pick this up for a while, I also picked up the Yarn to Texture book by Jillian Moreno. I've heard a lot of great things about this book, and I've already started reading it a bit and learning new things about spinning and kind of the proper way and the proper terminology for all the spinning techniques, and also like what to do to get the exact quality or type of yarn that you're looking for. So it's really, really, really helpful, I think. Very helpful. Would highly recommend this book, even though I haven't finished reading it. I think it would be really useful for beginner spinners or spinners who've been doing it for a little while that just want some more information. So yeah, I think that's everything that I have to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed, maybe found some inspiration or things you would like to check out, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget, if you would like to sign up to be a test knitter for this pattern, the newsletter link is below, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed. I always forget to say that, but yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And yeah, happy knitting, happy making. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
You want the animals relaxed, the dog relaxed, and the handlers. Okay. So she's given her command, giving the dog a lot of room, and you notice how far back that the dog is. We don't have the dog right on top of the sheet. It really kind of bothers them a little bit to be pushed on.
And I'm not set for her. Because I just want to see how she's going to react. So I'm not talking to her. I'm just allowing her to bring the sheet to me and make sure everything is.
Most of the time, the dog wants to bring the sheet to you. You want to bring the sheet to your feet.